Hi, Cleo. Are you laying an egg? I'm sorry, am I disturbing you? Come on out. Okay, I'm projecting a little bit here in the basement, and I was having some problems with my lettuce. I pulled them from way over there, and they were getting long and kind of leggy and just not looking very good. This big Boston bib lettuce was the one that I was having the most problems with, and I knew it was not going to do well and perhaps die before I got it outside. So I decided to up pot it into this container I had in the house. I just put some fresh potting soil in there, and I put all the little plants in here. They're very close together, but I'm just going to give them, a haircut, like a come and cut again lettuce. And I'm going to put them in my kitchen and use it for fresh lettuce. And then this here, this is Tom Thumb lettuce. That's how I want my lettuce to look. Nice and short and bushy and healthy. You can see there's a very big difference between, well, this is a little more spindly looking. Now I just did transplant these, so they're gonna perk up. But kitchen lettuce, this Tom Thumb lettuce is doing great, and it can stay down here until it's time to go outside, I think. I have discovered a solution to my problem of my cold plants being ready to go outside and the weather not cooperating, because we're supposed to get dumped on again. So my aunt said that I jinxed Mother Nature by getting ready to plant. And that's my fault, because I am a very impatient gardener. But what I'm going to do is these plants that are cold hardy, I've gone through and I've made kind of a sketch of which ones I'm going to put in my garden and how many I think that I need to keep. The rest of them I'm going to put into containers for the plant sale. And let me show you what I'm going to do here. First, here's kind of my plan for my cold hardy rows. I'm going to put them all out in my main in-ground garden this year, and I'm going to put them in a big 4-foot section that's 20 feet long, and I'm going to cover it with a frost cloth because I want to get it out there as soon as possible. So this middle line is kind of like the 2-foot mark. I'm going to make kind of a pattern in the middle with chard in the middle and have it surrounded by my cabbages. And then I'm going to have things like a back row with the taller, larger things like broccoli and cauliflower. That's a cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. And then in the front, slightly shorter things. I'll have my celery up front, some kales that I can keep trimmed down, mustard, and this rapini. And I'll kind of offset them a little bit, if that makes sense. And so what I did is I kind of made a note for myself how many of each of those plants I needed. It's about 3 trays worth, and I'll probably keep a couple extra just in case. So what I'm going to do is start separating those trays out now and getting my plants off to the side and up potting them into bigger containers. These are the containers I'm going to go to. Right now, those plants are mostly in 6-packs or 2-inch pots. I'm going to go up to these 4-inch pots. Get out of there, Bailey. So I'm going to up pot all the ones I want in these plastic reusable pots. Now, I bought these off of Amazon 2 years ago. I use them every season. I've got 2-inch and 4-inch. These are not ones I want to give away. So what I did is I went on Amazon and ordered some round ones that are 3-inch pots, and I'm going to up plant anything extra into those, and that way I'll know the round pots that are disposable, those can go home with someone. I don't need them back. My big, tough, strong ones that I want to keep it and use year after year, my plants will go in those. So it'll be nice and easy for me when it's time to separate them into who is who and set up that plant sale. So this is my setup upstairs. I'm standing on a chair, but this is a big 6-foot tall rack. I've got the lettuce up here. I've got a trap set for fungus gnats. They are the devil. Oh, fungus gnats. I've heard if you plant your seedlings and put cinnamon on top, that helps with that, but too little too late for me. So I have got most of my cold hardy products up in these 4-inchers now, and they are up here. My onions, I did run out of 4-inch pots, so I did use a couple solo cups. I got 4-inchers here. These all look fantastic. And here, my celery. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep them on this rack in my window in my dining room. So this rack is in a window that actually faces west. If you have a south-facing window, that's the window that you want to use. But I don't have south-facing windows because my house faces south. And I've got a covered porch on the front. So my inside sunlight is better here. So I'm gonna put them here just to take them away from that supplemental heat. And they're gonna live right here until they go outside. Now, one thing about having these here in the upstairs is that they are out in the open with my animals. So to combat that, I ordered some 6 mil plastic, like gardener plastic, online, which I will be able to use in other ways when I'm done. And I'm gonna take it and I am gonna cut pieces and I'm gonna wrap this in plastic so my animals cannot get to it, but it still can get the sun. And I hope that works. It will not be pretty, but it will be effective. And then what I'll do once it starts to get warmer out during the day, I can just carry these from here out to my front porch, and leave them there for like an hour at a time, work up to 2 or 3 hours until it's warm enough for me to plant these outside. And my plan right now is to take all those and plant them in a tunnel. So I'm gonna go ahead and get greenhouse hoops and put them right in the ground and put them in that tunnel like I talked about. So I am looking at the best option for that, but that is the goal for all of these guys. Hopefully within, I'm gonna try and stretch it to 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So for 3 weeks, these live here and get hardened off, and then I'll be ready to go. Okay, friends, it is the next morning, and I just kind of want to show you how this ended up turning out. I bought this plastic. It's 6 millimeters, and it comes in a big roll, and I'm going to use it for other things, but I cut off portions of it, and I taped it to my window. My neighbors must think I'm crazy. And I did this all the way down, and then I taped to the bottom, and I taped pieces together all the way around. I left the top open, so I've got stuff up there. And then over on this side, I taped it here on the bottom, tucked it under, and then this side I've just got tucked in. So I can pull this side out like this if I want and water and take care of them. And what it's doing is actually it's keeping the cold air from the window in here. So it is cooler in here than it is in the dining room. But the main point of this is to keep the animals, away from it. Okay, so that's gonna be my setup. I'm gonna get these all acclimated to the colder air, and as soon as I get afternoons in the 50s, I'm gonna throw those out on my front porch, which is a covered porch. I'll show you that in a second, and then move on from there. But this is where they're gonna go next. So I've got this covered porch. This faces south. That's the west. I've got trees out here that cover a lot of shade, but right now it'll be sunny on this table here. If it's too windy, I can pull that table back against the house, and that will give me a windbreak. But all of those plants are going to come out here and slowly, a little bit longer every day, end up on the table until they're ready to be planted in the ground. It doesn't feel like it or look like it outside, but spring is